So I recently did a poll on the community page to see if you guys wanted to watch me make a custom rear strut brace for this 4x4 Vauxhall Nova. And the answer to that was a yes. So we best crack on. So what we're working with, well, this is basically what we've got so far. So this is all box section. I've made all this from scratch. It's going to house a short and clear axle. Now this is all documented in previous videos. If you're interested, have a look. But for today, all we're going to do is basically tie these two strut towers in. So we're going to basically put a plate on here, plate on there, tie them together and triangulate it a little bit to make it nice and strong. That's just going to make it a little bit stronger, and it's also going to be a good place to mount harnesses should I choose to use them. So these are the plates we're made up. These are going to be essentially the strut top plates. These are going to be the bottom of the strut top. Now I made these with some 3mm steel. I used the hole saw to cut the middle, and then we cut the outside with a lathe using my dad's lathe. Nice and easy, and I literally just drilled the holes afterwards. Right, so I'm going to bolt these on the strut towers and we'll go from there. So the rear shock absorbers would normally hold these into place, but for now I'm just using M8 bolts because I don't want to damage the shock to welding. So next up we've got this old bit of rusty tube which was actually knocked into ground as a stake, but it will clean up, believe it or not. So I'm going to clean it up first and then we'll start cutting it down. So I've recently discovered some abrasive nylon pads that go on a 4.5-inch grinder, and they're really good at removing rust and paint and stuff like that. Now the beauty of these is they don't damage the metal like a grind disc or flat disc would. So I'd highly recommend these. Once I've gone over the whole thing with the abrasive pad, and then I finish it off with some 320 sandpaper. So there we go, I've just cut it to length and I've got it in the right place and tacked it. And as you can see, that is level and so is that. So they're bang on, it all lines up nicely. The cross member by eye, that's the best way to do these things sometimes, do it by eye. Everything lines up. So the next job is to start bracing it all up. As always, I use a bit of scrap cardboard to make a template. Now this shape is actually slightly more complicated than it may look on the camera. Because the strut tower angles aren't horizontal, they do need a bit of a taper. So the easiest way I found to work the angle out was to trim a bit of the cardboard away, see what it fits like, and keep doing so until it fits perfectly. And as both strut towers are symmetrical, I only had to make one template to do both sides. I transferred a template onto some 3mm thick steel. Once cut out and dressed back, I bend them to the right angle. Again, I do this by eye and just use simple tools like a vise and a hammer. And there we go, that's the finished pieces. So I've made these little brackets which are going to tie it all together, make it nice and strong, and look fairly professional, I hope. And fit something along the lines of that. Beautiful. Next job's to tack them into place, and then I can start buzzing them up properly. So those of you that have been following my channel for a while will know I've just hit the big milestone of 3,000 subscribers. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you for that, guys. And it goes without saying, if you want to support the channel, want to help it grow, hit the like button, leave a comment, and obviously subscribe. Back to the welding. Now, I mainly use MIG. I do have a TIG welder, but I'm not very good at it. Now, a few people have asked me what kind of welder do I use. Now, this is a fairly heavy-duty Mac MIG welder, made by SIP. I think it's 180 amp. Comes with a Euro torch, and I think they're about 800 quid or something along the lines of that. But I find it really good for jobs like this. You can use it on thin metal, thick metal. It's very handy. And there we go, that's one side done and the other. Now to take it off, clean it up and prime it. So I've just dressed some of the welds back a little bit with a flat disc. I'm now going to use some 320 sandpaper just to dress it down and to prep it basically. Just get rid of some of the rough spots, give it all a good key, and then we can start extra primering it. I just wanted to say this is a short video this week, and it's a short video because it's the festive period. I'm a family man, I've got 2 young children, and yeah, life's busy. These kind of things have to take a step back at this time of the year, unfortunately. However, hopefully in the new year, we'll be doing some more content, which is going to be great. A lot more time on and over. My garden room, which I've been building for the last 6 months in between doing this, is pretty much done. So I'm going to have a lot more time, or some more time, to do this all before Nova. So bear with me, guys. Like I say, Rome wasn't built in a day. It is what it is. Right, back to sanding this. I'll rub it all down with some 320. Once it's all done, I degrease it, etch primer it, and then give it a good couple of coats of satin black paint. So there we go, that is a full video of me making this rear strut brace from scratch. Now, obviously, most people don't have a lathe at home. However, you can buy things like these discs online pre-cut. You can get really big washers, you get laser cutting services, relatively cheap now. Bits of steel you can pick up cheap. So in my opinion, if anybody's got a cheap welder and a grinder and some basic hand tools, they can tackle something like this themselves. Obviously, this is a custom application for a custom vehicle. There is off-the-shelf items for standing overs, but there's nothing for this. So if you want to have a go doing something like this, follow my guides, my steps, and you're not going to go too far wrong, providing you take your time and you're patient. Right, hope you had a good Christmas. Happy New Year to everybody, and see you in 2025.